Hello and welcome to the Talkin Bits podcast. I am your host, Michael Rose. With me is Banana Head, Nathaniel Boer, Don't Tell Tri-Cities Rep.
Yeah, that's right. That's me, the official
My
guy.
least favorite friend in comedy.
Wow.
And also my best friend in comedy. It's a weird relationship. So
Because I'm his only friend in comedy, so I'm best and worst.
we just recorded a fun episode.
We did. This is a good one. This is one of those guests that we have alluded to several times that I've been in contact with for a long time, trying to get him down. And we finally got it. Timing worked out.
Zach Assad.
Zach Assad.
He's a very funny comedian. He books plenty of shows. We talk about it a little bit on the show, but my favorite show that I've ever been a part of was at a show that he booked.
Yeah.
I meant to bring it up on the show that was the show with 3 different Michaels on it.
It was, yes.
That was
the
lot.
Michael show.
That was a lot of Michaels. But
Yeah. Anyways, Zach Assad is here. He's a very, very funny Middle Eastern comic from Southwest Virginia, Zach Assad. And he's here. And we had a good time. We talked a lot of shit. We talked movies for some reason. Trash TV.
Love my trash TV.
You do love your trash TV.
And movies. And just talked about comedy in general. He had some very unique advice that I actually I agree with.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have worded it better. Especially the like how what he compared it to in music. I think that was like the best.
Yes.
Some of the best advice I've heard in a long time.
Particularly with his region of the world. I think it's great.
Yes.
Because it's obviously coming from a place that he's seen it enough. Like he sees that.
Oh, he sees that a lot.
Right.
If that's like his advice.
Right.
For sure.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, you'll hear that at the end. The end of the episode. And this is fun. There's definitely some big laughs in here. There's some interesting perspective also. Zach's been doing it a little bit longer than I have. So
since 2021, I think he said.
21, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it was a good one.
That was it. That's the intro. Enjoy
that's the episode.
That's the whole episode. Thank you for listening to 2 minutes. No, but we love you guys. Enjoy the episode. We'll catch y'all next week.
Yep.
Bye. And we are back with Mr. Zach Assad or Assad?
Acid.
Every time.
Every
time.
Acid.
Every
Just
time.
as sad as it gets.
As sad as it gets.
As sad as it gets.
No, to be in my defense, and if you clicked on the episode, you see how it's spelled. It could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
However, to his defense, never once would I look at him and assume it's Assad.
That's kind of what we went with. We were like, we're going to use our white privilege for something that's not going to hurt nobody.
Right.
Not going to, we're not going to cause no division.
Right.
I just want a cool name.
Yes.
That's it.
That's fair.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever met somebody more fitting of a last name Acid.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
How much acid have you done in your life?
Enough. Not yet. I got a couple planned out. I'm gonna eat some next weekend,
Not
maybe
enough.
into October too. So,
and this is battery acid we're talking about. Yes,
of course, of course.
well.
So you said somebody who you couldn't imagine anyone who looks more like Acid. I can't imagine anyone who looks less like Assad. So I think
yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
It does work.
Yeah.
Everyone assumes somebody's last. You don't know.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Michael Rose and Banana Head here with.
We're back. We're rolling. This is a long time coming, honestly. We've talked about having Zach on forever. You're also probably, I guess we've had Chasey B, but one of our first Southwest Virginia guests on the show also, which is great. There's a lot of names up there that we need to get on in the future, but how are things going up there for you right now?
Well, it's summertime and people aren't worried about going inside. I'll just say it like that.
Comedy takes a hit in the summer, doesn't it?
We know all too well. We know.
Yeah.
And Zach, we should mention too, produces a lot of shows as well. So coming from that standpoint, especially, it's tough.
Yeah. It's been tough. I got a call yesterday. I'm gonna have to find a new venue.
Which one?
Sharky's was not happy with this summertime. So
wow,
really?
So. Announced it here first in Tennessee.
There it is.
Sharky's in Radford. We will have a triumphant return, but it will not be at Sharky's in Radford anymore.
Rest in peace. That's I've mentioned it several times on this show that show that me, Nathaniel, and Travis Stevenson did was one of my favorite shows. And it was just a cool venue. My comedy headshot is from that show.
Yeah. It was a good one.
It's a great space. It's really good. What happened was my connection there got promoted and is not able to just be there and fight for me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So
Right.
I,
Yeah, connection is a lot too.
we
had Pruitt had a connection with a room in Kingsport, and he had planned this whole show, their big first show. He was going to headline it. He'd booked it all out, and like a couple weeks out, management changed, and they were like, "We don't know who you are," and no, literally, they just pulled it out from. I mean, so that does happen.
Yeah, and I'm glad I'm able to announce it. They gave me another show to do, and like it'll be the last one. But
great.
There's been some times where I've been driving to shows and my producer's been like, "Hey, the management's changed. We're out tonight."
Yeah.
And like,
damn,
just pack it up. No free meal tonight. You got to go home and cook dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't write no jokes that day. So,
gosh.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. I mean, obviously on this show we mostly interact with comics, but occasionally, like we've had Justin Mays in a bunch who produces Don't Tell Knoxville. We've had Adam Aaron in who runs Alley Rays. I mean, the production side of it is a whole nother level of stress and heartbreak at times. You know,
it's tough.
It can be a lot. Yeah.
It and like I spend all this time like you go to these places and you just like, "Hey man, I really like this stuff. We're going to put on a good show for you guys," and you do it and you do it and you do it and you do it, and the people just don't show up.
Yeah.
God bless them. We
run into that. I mean, you run into that. It's just.
Especially time of year. And also, I mean, this doesn't really. I probably shouldn't say this, but I say it a lot, so I'll say it again. If I weren't a comic, there's no way in hell I'd go to a local open mic, especially. There's no way.
Yeah, open mics
it's hard.
for sure.
It's hard.
Even though like those local shows too, it's like you go to one bad show and then you're like, I don't.
Comedy's not for me. I think a lot of people think comedy is a big city thing too.
I also think a lot of people think comedy is like because like I feel like a lot of people have this perception of like every comedy show you go to, you're just gonna be like roasted by whoever's on the stage. Like,
oh yeah, some people are scared too.
The Matt Rife effect. It is like Matt Rife, Nate Jackson. Man, they have like we put couches. You guys know we put couches.
Fucking
right
love that
in
show,
front
dude.
Of Sharky's.
Yeah,
every single time people choose to sit in the back on the pool tables before they'll sit on couches.
Oh yeah,
dude. The people. I remember whenever we were there, Nathaniel opened up the whole. I think you opened up the whole show. You were second.
Yeah.
You were second. So Nathaniel's on the stage. Nobody's in the couches yet. Halfway through his set, these people come, and it was the most distracting thing ever because those couches were like right in your face.
I think I just talked about how they look like casting couches or something, which I'm sure every comic said. But yeah, that was a good show, man. That was fun. Man. So do you have another venue? I mean, you don't have to say obviously, but do you have other options in mind, or is it like you're on the hunt now?
Sharky's Blackbird. I'm just kidding.
I wish they've got a lot more people coming through their doors. But I've got a couple in mind. I think I'm gonna have to do something dirtier if that makes sense.
Like a motel.
No, just like a nasty dive bar.
Yeah.
I've got one in mind, but it's
I mean, that might work. Those rooms are horrifying to me as a comic, but intriguing to me as a producer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that goes on in those rooms. A lot of chaos.
I've done a dive bar. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's intense, but it's fun.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever been approached by somebody angry after a show was in one of those.
Yeah.
And I'm
Really?
like, what the fuck?
That's
is
that
going
kind of
on
room.
here?
I think you could say anything in a dive bar and get away with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, they're just drunk. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
That's
just
true.
always drunk.
Yeah. And
The time I got mistaken for a poet was in a dive bar. So
mistaken for a poet.
To be fair, I've thought you were a poet this whole time. So I'm just now learning this.
I got off. It was an open mic, and I did. I was going up.
I didn't know this.
I was gonna do. I don't remember what the time limit was. I think it was like 10. It was like a very generous because it was a mixed open mic.
Yeah.
And
where the fuck was this?
musicians. This is it's in downtown John City. It's what's that bar called? It's I can tell you exactly. It's like
this sucks. Whatever.
I'll think of what it is.
This sucks.
Great podcasting. We can walk you to it, but we can't tell you about it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect to bring up this fucking
It's a
bar
brick
store.
building. Yeah.
It is a brick building.
See, I
it's
knew
got a
it.
door. So anyway, I get on stage, and I was third of the
I know that
comics.
place.
Yeah.
With the door.
Down Home. Down Home is the name of it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I could have fucking told you that.
Well, yeah, dude. You didn't.
Did you get stabbed in the process?
No.
Yeah.
I should have. It would have been less painful for me to get stabbed. Anyway, so I go up. It's there's two comics who went before me. 2 comics before me. There was a couple musicians before me. I get up. I was planning on doing my whole 10 because I had a very good 10 at the time. And I ended up doing like 4 minutes to silence. And I was like, all right, I'm reading what's happening. Let's just.
Yeah.
And I said a joke that was like, my jokes are layered to like, they start nice, they get a little dark, and they just keep getting darker and darker. And I started getting dark, and like they were like, ugh, like not enjoying it at all. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna cut it here.
They're like, this poet is dark.
I was like, I'm gonna cut it here. If you didn't like that, you're not gonna like the rest.
Yep.
Host comes on the stage, was like, give it up to Michael and his poetry. And then like
That's when you realized it was a poetry open mic?
nobody clapped for me, and it was
Pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing comedy, Zach?
Since we're talking about poetry open mics,
Yeah.
one of the first open mics I did back in 2021, which was like
Well, there's your answer.
3 and change ago.
2 birds, 1 stone.
I went, and the Milk Parlor is one of the like venues in Blacksburg that does open mics, and they have comedy nights, and like they do everything, music. I showed up to this open mic that was hosted by a club at Virginia Tech, and it turns out to be an open mic where they're reading abuse poetry.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
This is very similar to Corey Day's Nightmare Bomb story. I feel like a lot of comics have a story much like this. Yeah.
They put me up first. I go up,
First.
and I mean,
First may be better, though. Also.
I think first is the best.
Because at least you don't have to
scenario.
follow other abuse poetry.
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
First was best. They put me up, and I have this room of women just looking at me like I have like shot cats in front of them.
Or were you like, was your poem like from the perspective of the abuser?
No, mine was just stand-up
Just kidding.
comedy.
No, I know.
It was
he gets
yeah.
up there and he's like, she wouldn't stop running her mouth.
Yeah.
This bitch won't stop screaming. I don't know why. What's
I'm
up
just
with bitches
picturing you
screaming,
humping the
guys?
stool like, oh, and they're like, what the fuck? You're fucking Mickey Mouse
Yeah,
joke?
that hadn't come out. That hadn't come out of the closet yet. But
Thank God.
yeah, no, yeah. The one joke I did have. See, this is so how early on I was. I was copying like my favorite underground comics.
Of course, yeah.
One joke of theirs, and it just turns out that was like one joke that was just about abuse, and that was like my opener to like get my feet on the ground, get my, like and put my jokes out.
Luck of the draw, yeah.
And then they just like looked at me like I'd shot cats, and then I did my comedy, and they kept looking at me like I was shooting dogs at that point.
Sounds like a group of women who are big cat fans.
Yeah, I had the bartenders going.
Is there any woman that's not?
No, anyway, I'm a big cat fan. Anyway, that
Watch
was
out for the Haitians, am I right? Anyways. Sorry.
Hey, Asians.
that was a good one. I liked it.
Thank you. Thank you much. Zach, so 2021 is when you started, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. So then that's tail end of the pandemic. That's like roughly when we all start.
Everyone was
falling in.
dying and not supposed to hang out. Zach's like, I'm going to go tell jokes.
I'm going to do comedy.
Let me go hang out with these girls.
Yeah.
They're telling abuse
Yeah.
poetry.
But long before that, though, I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you loved comedy growing up to some degree.
Yeah.
Who were some of your biggest influences, like as a kid, even way before you ever started doing it?
Bill Cosby's later stuff. Go ahead.
I really like Bill Cosby. He's got this DVD on mixing drinks.
Yes.
I got it as like a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
He's
a
it was
mixologist.
awesome. Yeah. It just
The warning
Turn
signs
me
were
on
there
to
for a long time, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when I was really, really young, there were 2 things that influenced me very much. And ironically, they were both from the radio. The rock station around my house had a advertisement for a strip club, and they had a comedy night
Really?
at said strip club.
Oh, that's
also.
sick.
And dude, I was like, man.
How old
I
were you?
Got to get like 13.
Oh yeah,
Like-
perfect.
Like
yeah.
typical like writing Metallica and like
Yeah.
you know stuff all over my binder's age.
Yeah.
You know.
A comedy night at the strip club. That's interesting.
Were they still dancing or?
I have no idea.
I hope
I
not.
never made it there. But then they moved it into Blacksburg a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And my aunt would go, and I would beg her, and I'd beg her. I'm like, please, God, just let me go. Just let me go up there and like try a joke.
Yeah.
Try a joke. And she's like, no, you can't go. You can't go. Your mom and dad will never let you. And besides, if they did, the management wouldn't let you in
Yeah.
the bar.
Probably true.
Yes.
Probably all
Unfortunate.
good. Probably all good.
Also, probably good for a developing mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My
Mine
brother-in-law-
hasn't developed that much, and I'm 31.
My little brother-in-law is 13. I can only imagine taking him to a comedy show. Like,
At a strip club.
Yeah, even just a general open
At
mic.
the down home.
At the down home. I could only imagine what that would do to.
But after that, my mom and dad had like XM radio, and we started listening to the like comedy channels on there. And when it started being more than just blue collar comedy or the just what you can bring home in a DVD basket.
Yeah,
right. You know, that was crazy to me because
who are some of those names, like those albums that are playing? Because they do albums, right? Or tracks from albums. Serious.
Yeah. Dude, this is gonna like go way back, but like it started with like Jerry Clower.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because like my dad had those tapes and he would play them for me. I was like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah.
It's like funny.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand it when I was young. But then when I was a teenager and listened to it, I was like, oh, he's saying it, making noises and making it funny and like
right. He's doing it on purpose,
acting this whole scene out.
Yeah.
Just being him. And then, you know, a little newer stuff. It was Hedberg and like I'm sure like Dave Attell and stuff like that. Like, I was so young I didn't even know who it was.
Right.
But man, it just like blew my mind. And then Netflix and stuff and like Redbox hit where you could like go look at Chris D'Elia and like
That's someone I don't know if we've talked about on the podcast, Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
Have we not?
I don't think so, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Chris D'Elia, like
I ironically got introduced to him by a girlfriend.
Ooh.
That is ironic. He got introduced to you by that same girlfriend. Small world.
Yeah.
No, I like Chris. I mean, he obviously has had some scandals or whatever, but his comedy is
I like his comedy.
Yeah.
His like he has this joke. I don't remember what the joke was, but I remember he like found it. He was like riffing and he started laughing. Have you seen this video where he has like the way he's laughing on stage? I know this sounds stupid, but it's the most hilarious laugh you'll ever hear in your life.
Honestly, he used to be one of my favorite podcast guests. Like when he would come on Fighter and the Kid or King and the Sting back in the day, that was peak D'Elia, I think.
Yeah.
But he has my mom's favorite joke of all time, the one about drunk girls in the club. Do you know that one where he's acting it out? It's so funny because he's like, you know, he's like, there's something about like drunk girls who need to throw up but can't. And he's like, if a guy almost throws up while you're out of the club, it's game over. We're going home. They're like, get my stuff. Like, we're going home. And he's like, a girl, they won't even notice. They'll just be like, this is my song. My song. Like, he's like dancing and stuff. And then he just has this whole thing about like drunk girls at clubs. It's very funny.
Yeah, he likes drunk girls at clubs, doesn't he?
He sure does. He likes drunk girls on Snapchat, allegedly.
Oh, boy.
Allegedly.
You know what I love?
But who doesn't?
He went
And that's
on
what I'm here
you.
to say.
He went on you and played
a creep,
a sexual predator on you. And
yeah,
then,
it wasn't
like,
a good look.
Immediately after,
Yeah.
comes out as a sexual predator.
I'm glad we brought him up.
Yeah, this is a good topic to get on.
Any other canceled comics we want to talk about? No, we're good.
We'll think on it.
Yeah. So 2021 is when you got your start. I never heard of anybody getting comedy stuff from Redbox, but I'd say Netflix was like a huge thing for me.
Do you remember the first Netflix special? Because that was a big moment for me. The first ever Netflix original special was 2007. It's
I know this only because of him. Don't feel bad.
It's Live at the Purple Onion, Zach Galifianakis.
You didn't even give him a chance to think about it.
First one ever.
Well,
and
he didn't have to because dude, like 2007, I did not get internet at my house until probably 2015-ish.
Yeah.
Because I live so far out in the country. My parents don't have cable. They don't have internet.
Honestly, that may have been. I think that's back when Netflix was mail order still. I don't think it was streaming.
Nah, you
just
could
yet.
stream
It was mail
that.
order. Not 2007. I don't think.
Yeah, dude, you could stream.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I remember watching it with my
I don't
dad,
know,
and I've
maybe.
seen it a bunch since, and it holds up. Actually, it's very good. But yeah, so I think it's interesting because sometimes we have guests in here who are a little bit older, like Pruitt, and you know they have memories of whatever, like tuning into HBO every night or different nights of the week, or going to Blockbuster to rent these things.
Yeah.
You're talking about a very specific time in comedy, which is the Redbox, the mail order Netflix thing. Like, there's still some. Yeah. It's not streaming. It's not that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I was on XM, there were jokes that like this is gonna sound stupid, but like I knew when the like laugh pattern started from the last joke. I was like, oh, this is gonna be the good one from like I heard 3 days ago.
Oh, like you'd recognize the
could
laugh
recognize
before the
live track of it.
Oh, dang.
And like I would just be hyped to listen to it again, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you?
That reminds me of older comics saying, like, you know, they would put, or like even my dad, who's not a comic, but like they would put old Pryor records on and then just listen to it and then move the needle and they would know word for word, that kind of shit. Yeah.
What do you think is like your favorite comedy special that you've ever seen?
Oh, dang. My favorite comedy special. It changes because, like, every time I see a new one, it's like, man, that's
my favorite.
That's got to be the best one I've seen in a long time.
Comedy's unique in that.
Are you still able to enjoy specials as much?
I don't know.
I've lost a little
because
I'm dissecting it the whole time, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too now that I think about it.
Comics, yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to not be in person. I don't watch as much. I will say this. I don't watch as much comedy now because I've watched so much in person that I'm like, even if the shows I'm seeing in person are objectively not as good as this fucking mega successful comedian,
right.
Like, even though it's objectively not as good as that, it's just like, oh, well, Nathaniel's stupid little jokes I can be in the room for, whereas this guy's I can't, you know. So
yeah,
but
no, blah, 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 blah. Oh,
and fuck you, by the way.
Favorite special. I mean,
You wish.
like, I really like the new Dan Soder one, but like you said, I enjoy stuff less now.
Yeah.
Naturally.
And it's also like, I mean, this is the other thing. Like, you get on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and it's just like, you just see all the comedy like all of the clips, and context doesn't matter anymore. And all this stuff. It's like, dude, I'll watch a special a night whenever I'm just like scrolling through reels.
Exactly. And the same way I used to get hype for that laugh track that's coming right before that joke. Now I scroll through and I'm like, oh, this is a dude like cutting wood beside a dude doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Get out of my face.
Yeah, they're always slipping them in with other things to avoid copyright or whatever. Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is, too, there's certain clips that seem to kind of, like, they have a life cycle. Like, you'll see multiple accounts reposting the same clip, you know? Like, I'm trying to think of one that comes to mind.
Shane Gillis grilled cheese.
Oh, my God. For a while, that's all you saw. And then it actually became a trend in itself. Like, I'm cooking them at night. You know, they have T-shirts now that's like I'm making them at night.
I don't even think I got that one.
You're missing out. That's a good one.
I don't think I got that one.
Well, you guess what? You're going to have a new favorite special tonight.
Yeah.
You're going to go home and you're going to watch Shane Gillis.
Beautiful Dogs.
Beautiful Dogs, yeah.
His whole algorithm is just Vampire Diaries and gay shit. So.
Twilight.
Twilight.
Yeah. Well, I want you to know.
No, it's not.
Zach,
don't encourage it.
Zach, you weren't here for the long conversations of vampires, so just bear with me through this particular conversation. I was at TJ Maxx yesterday, Nathaniel, and I saw a Twilight T-shirt on clearance.
And you bought it.
It was like $7.
And you bought it.
I didn't, but I did think about it.
If you would have bought it
for the sole purpose of wearing it today,
put it under that hoodie, and then right before we click record,
just take it off.
I probably would have had to leave the room. Like, I
thought about it.
I thought about it.
He gives me shit because listen, I've seen the Twilights. We never even finished Vampire Diaries.
It's not even that you've seen them. It's just I don't know. I feel bad for him.
Different strokes for different folks.
You're damn right. You're damn right. Or the fact that my wife also has a say in what we watch sometimes.
Let me ask you this: do your periods sync up when you guys watch those together? Do you and your wife periods ever sync up?
Yeah.
Now, Nathaniel.
I'm more of a tampon guy. Okay. You know what I mean?
I've heard that.
What's your opinion on like 90 Day Fiance and stuff like that? Because I love that.
Do you really? Oh, let's talk about some trash TV. I'm in it.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I don't have enough time in my life for that. I'm not.
He doesn't have enough time to have fun.
I'm
in
not
life.
anti-reality TV. I feel like I have enough bullshit in my life where the last thing I want to do is watch whatever the hell Kourtney Kardashian is doing that day.
Is that 90 Day Fiance?
No, just like reality TV or even like...
we're not talking about keeping up with the Kardashians.
I know, but I'm that vein of like
real
The
people.
Bachelor, Bachelorette, any of that shit. Any of that. Except Love on the Spectrum. I think that shit's hilarious, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think that's meant to be funny, dude.
That sounds
pretty
a bit
funny.
ableist to me.
I don't think that show's meant to be funny. You know what show that my wife loves? Love is Blind. You guys ever...
Yes.
Which
ever
one
watched
is
it?
that?
That is...
Are they all blind? Because that's a cruel title.
No, they're in like these like...
Literally, like they're sitting in a room like this.
Yeah.
And then talking to somebody that's like on the other side of that door.
and they don't see him, and then they get engaged, and then they see him after they get engaged.
How fucked up would that be if they were all blind?
I've never watched like a whole season with her.
What a terrible name for a show.
I've never
watched like a whole season.
Going,
with her.
what do you look like?
This one dude with like Ray
You
Charles
sound hot.
Pretty much, dude. But I've watched like a couple episodes with her, man, and it's like, God, it is it kills me.
It's dumb.
What's the Nikki Glazer one? F-Boy Island or something like that?
Oh,
there's that kind of shit too, where it's like they put all these people on an island.
You're telling me there's Nikki Glazer hosting one? I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, she's hosting one. It's called F-Boy Island.
Have you guys? My favorite. Now this one I do like. Okay, it's called "Are You the One?" Have y'all seen that?
Jesus Christ!
Nah.
Even the title is
that one. Okay, they have like 24 people on like this like desert, like this island, right? Deserted, like like just vacation island.
Right.
12 dudes, 12 girls. And their goal is to match up perfectly. And if they all match up, they all find their perfect match. There's like a test they take. If they all find their perfect match at the end of the season, they get $1 million to split. And they send them to like this truth thing to find out if they're like the perfect match once an episode. And then at the end of every episode, they like pair off. And then it's like, it is the most dramatic bullshit. Because sometimes people will be like, they'll find out they're not the perfect match, but they're like, but we like each other. And they'll quit playing the game. And everyone's like, get your shit together. Money's on the line. 10 out of 10. You guys should watch it.
That sounds insane.
I love it.
Welcome back to the reality TV podcast.
Like, capitalism is taking over. You can't love her.
Yeah, pretty much. I love it, man. I'm not even ashamed. Okay. So back to it. What are you looking up? You looking up Are You the One because you're bookmarking it for later?
No, I was looking up Zach Galifianakis, Love with the Purple Onion, 2006. I was off by a year.
Purple Onion.
Dumb.
Yeah, Purple Onion is a club in San
dude.
Fran, and it's a great club. I think it's still there actually, but it's a small room, and so like that special is literally him sitting at a piano for most of it, just like riffing around on a piano.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite question. Minus that Mike you were telling us about with the poems. What would you say was your worst bomb that you've ever had?
Oh, probably that dive bar where I was approached by someone afterwards.
Oh yeah, an angry crowd member.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there was a point where
they didn't work there, right? This is like a crowd member.
Yeah. I'll do the whole story.
Okay, yeah. So, I'm sweating already. I'm nervous.
My hands are.
I'm nervous.
Travis Stevenson was here for this, so you can talk to him about it too.
Yes.
So I do this set, and like I had been hanging out with my girlfriends and mine, 2 gay friends, and they had just told me these like awful stories of how they're just like on vacation. They're like, "Well, I gotta hook up. I gotta do something." Mm-hmm. And I told their stories from a straight person's perspective, and I was kind of just like, "That's kind of gross." And I didn't really have a punchline. I didn't really have much.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of what you were talking about earlier. You went on with an idea,
right?
Crushed so hard,
right,
that you were like, "God, my dick is so
which
swollen.
never
happens.
Will
never have to put pants on again."
And to be clear, that will bomb for the next 6 months now. Like it'll never do that.
Oh yeah.
But I go upstage and I do that, and then I come off stage and I was like, "God, that was tough." I didn't. Just tough. And then I go sit down, and out of nowhere, out of the corner, with cigarette in mouth. This is that kind of dive bar, by the way. We're smoking.
Hell yeah.
We're smoking inside.
Oh, my favorite type of bar.
I like cigs inside.
I do too.
Heater in mouth coming over to me is this lovely. It looks like a short man, but I can hear from the voice it's not.
Sure.
I get it. Pick it up. Been smoking for 70 years.
It's a Roseanne bar, we'll say.
Yeah, it's a Roseanne bar. Or as Travis Stevenson likes to say, Gwen Diesel. And he went on stage about 2 seconds after she walked out of the room and said that, and the whole room erupted.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah.
Whoa, so you got approached during the show.
During the show, like, I came down.
You come off stage, yeah.
Host is on stage.
Oh yeah.
Like, sorry, guys, we're going to get to the next comic. And,
wow. Sorry. When the host has to apologize after your set.
Dude, you guys know L.A. Preston, right?
Yeah.
He's changed his whole thing now. Where he used to do, like, It just depended on how many open micers he had. He would either do the open mic before or after the show.
Yeah.
Now it's all after the show. Once the show stops, he's like, we don't condone any of the words that anybody's saying now. This is all open mic material, not to be, taken into context with the real funny, blah, blah, blah.
It's so funny.
But yeah, she came at me. She's like, you think we're fucking gross? All gay people are gross. I was like, nah, it's a joke. It's like,
it's comedy. Yeah.
It's comedy. It was a joke. I was talking about 2 experiences that I have. I don't know who the fuck you are. And if you want me to, you need to talk to me a little bit differently. And that was it.
And Gwen didn't like that.
Gwen didn't like anything. I wasn't giving her time of day. I knew she was upset, but I was equally, or maybe even worse.
Yeah.
Well, also, you just had a tough 5 minutes of life. Like she was fine. She was just sitting there smoking. She's having a good old time. What's she pissed about?
Have another heater, bitch.
Yeah, just light up a second one. Jesus.
On the flip side of that question, what's like the best show you've ever done, would you say?
Oh, I've been on a tear here recently. I think it's just a matter of me being on stage the most, because where we're at, it's really hard to get on stage like 3 times a week, and that's really important. But recently,
us too.
I have done several. Roanoke Comedy Festival was really nice. They did a local showcase, and
that was L.A., right? Who
Roanoke Comedy Festival is run by Johnny Camacho. He's a
no, LA's doing like the Real Funny Comedy Festival or something, right? Yeah.
And we had Winston Hodges down from DC, and he did like a guest spot, and he came on and did this like 5 minutes just crushing trans jokes too. It was like
and he's still crushing.
Boom, boom, boom.
I've heard good things.
And then Catherine goes up on stage and she's like, okay, guys, all the producers have to go to the next show. This is going to be your host. His name's Zach. Please make him feel welcome. And like, after Winston came off, that crowd was just so ready for whatever the fuck anybody had to say.
Yeah.
I went up there and did my regular material, and I've got a trans joke right now that's like, I feel like if I say it and I act uncomfortable when I say it, people like it better. And I just went out there and I said it with my whole chest, and it was like boom.
Yeah.
And then close your set out with your closers, and when Mickey Mouse comes out, everybody fucking smiles.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse is a legendary.
But yeah, that one was really, really good.
So you think lately there's been a sort of a streak of like it's getting better, you think?
As long as I'm not doing the open mic and trying to do new jokes. If
it's never good.
Yeah.
It's rarely good, I guess.
Yeah, I went to an open mic and I said a joke on a Thursday, and I was like, man, that's a great joke. A new one, gonna fucking put that one in the repertoire, like fits right in here at the end of this one. Boom. Go to Johnson City to host at the Wallace Theater, and I forget the like little word that like makes that bit funny.
Yeah. That's all it takes.
And dude, they're like, what are you talking about? In the middle of a host set. And then I was like, oh fuck, I have to go right back to the greatest hits. And then I did the greatest hits and I got the fuck out of Dodge. But
the Wallace is a very forgiving room.
They're forgiving.
Still haven't done the Wallace.
It's a strong room. That's because I keep telling them not to let you in.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I just had to beg for it too. So
yeah.
Just like you guys, I just keep
just
sending.
get on your knees and you'll get all the time you want.
People. I mean, just get on your phone. Just say, hey man.
Or your knees.
Or your knees. Yeah.
The knees part was for me. I'll put in a good word if you just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't even book it, but if you
Yeah.
Anyway,
it can't hurt.
A little suki.
Well, it could hurt. Too much teeth. Anyways,
not experienced.
Easy there.
Anyways,
all right.
I have a question.
That's the palate cleanse. Go ahead with your question.
Boy.
I have a question because this is a stand-up news topic that I found today. The headline of this article says, "New free service offers tons of stand-up comedy to fans." So basically, it's kind of a developing story, but there's kind of an added service through Amazon Prime now, which will be sort of a hub for stand-up. It's called the Stand-Up Channel. You can view it through a service called FreeV, and it offers 24/7 comedy programming funded entirely by the ads. So there's not an ad-free version available, but it's all funded by the ads, and you can watch comedy 24/7?
Two things.
Go ahead.
Freevee? What?
Freevee is the
Freevee.
service. Yes.
First of all, have you never heard of it?
No.
Freevee is dope. Schitt's Creek is on there, known as Poops Creek in my household because my toddler doesn't understand context. Anyway.
Spelling. It's Jewish. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
The other thing, well, she doesn't know that.
Well, she will. I'll set her down.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Anyway. So it's pretty much just like comedy, like just, what is it, like specials, just streaming, or like what is that?
I would imagine so. I mean, there's not a whole lot of details because it's sort of a leaked idea. It does say it's been brought to fruition by the minds behind Comedy Dynamics, which is a stand-up distributor. It's like a big distributor. It will feature new original stand-ups from comedy as well as legendary specials that have already been produced and are currently under the Amazon umbrella. So it's only things within Amazon for now.
Okay, yeah. So I could see good and why. Like good and not bad, but just good and why. Like good is like, oh, I want to find a new comedian, so I'm going to turn on this channel and maybe find somebody or see somebody I've never heard of before.
Could be a good background channel.
And then why, as in, there's already. I mean, I can find any comedian ever that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Also,
why would you make it like not ad free too?
Because
like,
Freevee's not ad. Freevee has ads.
Is it just their
Freevee?
thing?
So
I think their mindset is that because it's ad funded, then there's a lot of creative freedom,
and stuff.
Right? And the comics get paid, and there's no corporate tightening. Like there's no content restrictions. There's no copyright issue. It's all like the ads will pay for a free service.
Like Freevee is a cool thing.
It's a good idea.
I will say, like outside.
I think here's my thought when I first read it is it's 10 years too late. 10 years ago, this would have been amazing.
Yeah, I just think now it's like good and like also who cares because. You could just YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. Like there's 1,000 different ways to watch whatever stand up you want to watch.
It sounds like Comedy Central,
sounds like what Comedy Central is supposed to be.
Yeah, it's like a couple of their guys got fired and they're like, "Hey man, let's go over here and remember that piece of paper that we were going to throw away back in the beginning. Yeah. Let's go find that piece of paper. Let's do that again."
Now, Freevee though, even like with the ads, it's dope. You can watch all sorts of movies, like some TV shows that you just can't get anywhere.
Because, like on YouTube, I don't know if you guys have found it, but like there's playlists that have been created on YouTube of like greatest specials of all time, and it's it's a 14-hour playlist where it'll jump straight to the next special.
Yeah, and so that's kind of like where I'm at with it. It's just like I feel like
I guess the only thing is, are the stand-ups being paid by YouTube views on those? Probably not.
If they're clipping like their channels,
but it's
the videos are from their channels,
reposted.
That's where.
Yeah,
but that's where like YouTube's failing. You need to be taking copyrighted content down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
and how much are these comedians going to get paid by? They have an hour special. There's 2 ad breaks in it, and like 100,000 people are watching it once every month.
I don't think 100,000 people will watch it.
Yeah,
that's
TV. What I'm saying.
Honestly, my other thought was hotel rooms. That'll be big for hotel rooms, something like that.
Yeah,
because hotel rooms, for whatever reason,
you still have to sign into an Amazon
account
to use Freevee. So,
but in a hotel room, you wouldn't. They do that,
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you'd still have to like have an Amazon account signed in for Freevee.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting.
Also,
obviously, we're stand-ups, and this is a stand-up show, so I think it's good that anything is trying to bring more stand-up to more people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that is good.
Any
but will it
distribution is
work?
Good.
Right.
But it's kind of we were doing at Sharky's this thing where we were doing a live podcast also.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless the Snide Studio boys. I love them, and they're like,
the who? I'm sorry.
The Snide Studio boys. I love them. We're doing this podcast, and they're like, "Man, we could do this podcast every 2 weeks if we really had to."
Yeah.
Like, but we really need 6 weeks to develop it.
Right.
So it's like, if you're doing something, you got to do it, but have a point with it, man. You got to like this, like you said, 10 years ago, boom, that's great.
That's
you
great.
got it on in every hotel room.
Yep.
Every, it's a big thing, but right now.
And maybe even longer than that.
I'll say even like for this, and I don't know, for even hotel rooms, like I'll even challenge that a little bit. Because for me, when I go to a hotel room, I don't have cable. When I go to a hotel room, I watch cable. Because I'm just like.
Yeah. Because you're like, this is wild. Cops is still on?
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm not going to sit there and watch. I'm not going to watch something I can just pull up my laptop or my phone and watch.
That's true.
constantly.
You're gonna watch Honey Boo Boo reruns.
100%. I'm gonna watch Honey
Duck
Boo Boo.
Dynasty season 3.
Dude, honestly, it always ends up
Trash
being like
TV.
Impractical Jokers for me.
Okay, now hey, on that topic, now I'll go Duck Dynasty all day.
I've never watched Duck Dynasty,
Fuck you,
dude. I mean,
I'll go
look at
Duck
you and look at
Dynasty
me.
all day.
Have I seen
That's
Duck
fair.
Dynasty?
Yeah, that hood is too far back on your scalp for you to have ever seen Duck
Yeah,
Dynasty.
dude.
That's probably part of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's true.
And I was an extra in it.
Speaking, were you really?
No.
Yeah, you could. Listen. I wouldn't
No,
even
but-
like.
Isn't that believable?
Yeah, that was like. I wasn't.
The credits, Zach Assad.
If you would have said yes, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. And you could have told me a whole fucking story. You could be like,
yeah.
yeah, they shot me in an episode. And I'd be like, yeah, dude, I get it. No, but speaking of Freebie, Jury Duty, you remember that show?
No.
Did you not see Jury Duty?
No, dude. Here we go again. This is every week from
No,
me.
dude.
Have you
No.
seen Jury Duty?
No, I haven't seen Jury Duty, and no, I haven't seen fucking Milton Goes to High School or
Fuck
wouldn't
off.
bullshit shows
did
you've
it-
seen on some
Dude.
free service. No.
Jury Duty.
You
that
can
was
say
like
it
that
as much
took-
as you want.
That like took over the world.
I've never even had Jury Duty. No.
Dude, I haven't either. I don't think it's real. But that like took over
you
the
don't,
world.
hold on. You don't think Jury Duty is a real thing?
I don't understand who gets picked for it and who doesn't.
You've never
I-
known. Now that I'm thinking of it, my
I-
mom did get Jury Duty one time, and she was just gone for like 3 days and then came back. So I'm not sure it's real. That's actually
Yeah,
a good
dude,
point.
I know people who've gone to Jury Duty, but I don't think it's real. I don't.
You really want to piss somebody off that asks you if you're, are you registered to vote? Like, can I help you register to vote?
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at them and say, they keep sending me these letters for jury duty. Can I unregister?
Yeah. That's
Dude,
true.
have you had Jury Duty?
No.
See, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
Even
nobody, I've known people who've done it, but nobody I'm close to has ever done it. Does that make sense?
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
Like, people are like, yeah, I got jury duty. And I'm like,
Yeah, like,
do
you
you,
just-
though?
it's kind of like
You just went to another city and cheated on your wife.
Didn't your
for
girlfriend
3
have jury
days.
duty?
kind of
Or
like
did I imagine somebody's girlfriend I was talking to
Not
recently
mine.
had jury duty?
And they were lying, whoever it was.
yours.
No, it was my buddy's wife had jury duty.
She was cheating on him.
but she didn't like get selected.
She
and I'm
just
like,
went to Knoxville, got a hotel, and cheated on him.
Probably, yeah. No, so okay, here's the thing with the show Jury Duty. It's this guy who gets selected for jury duty, quote unquote, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to like make a documentary out of this." And then it's just a bunch of actors. Like the judge, all the jurors, the case is a bunch of like not famous actors. There's one very famous actor, but there's like non-famous actors whatsoever.
But they all think they're actually. They don't know that everyone else is an actor.
The guy does not know.
Oh, the guy.
That everybody else is acting, and it is the funniest. It is literally the funniest show I've ever seen
It's
in my
interesting.
life. You need to watch.
I
that.
do like those things where like the main character is not hip to the
Joke.
prank. You know, obviously there's like punked and stuff, but that's
Dude,
all I'm
and it's
talking
like so funny. Like the first episode, they're like, yeah, this is such a bad time for me to get out of to have jury duty, and they're like joking with the main guy, and they're like, how can I get out of it? And he's like, well, in Family Guy, Peter or whoever went up on the stand and said that he was a racist, and he got out of jury duty.
He's racist against ants in that episode.
Well, it does either way, but
Family Guy.
Me too. I hate
the
that.
guy he says that to gets on stage was like, yeah, I don't think this is good for me. I'm just like, like really racist.
Yeah.
And it's just, dude, it's so fucking funny. You guys need to watch it. Anyway,
I'm not gonna.
jury
Anyways,
duty's not real. Go ahead.
I don't know. You just like the way you like address jury duty. Middle of that statement you made, it sounded a whole lot like my red pilled buddies when they were talking about COVID.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anybody that's had it close to me.
I know somebody who says they had it,
my
but
gra-
maybe
my-
not.
My
Wait,
grandma
what
in
is-
Arkansas had it one time, but nobody else.
It's
I'm
just
gonna
a
piss
cough.
off. I'm gonna piss off Nathaniel real quick.
Do it.
I guarantee you he won't. Go ahead.
Matrix. I've probably seen it, but I don't think I have seen it.
Anyways, Zach,
What's the red pill and blue pill deal?
Oh, I was simply referring to like political things.
Well, right. So red pill now has become a term in like the political zeitgeist, but it did start with the
it did
Matrix.
start
things.
with Matrix.
Okay.
It's like one of the other.
I get it now. Red pill, as in your Republican
Red
friends.
and blue. Right.
And
They-
blue pill, as in the I get it.
as
The
in
dummies.
the fucking losers.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Oh,
Blue is
Fucking
you blew
idiots.
it. Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
that's so stupid.
Comedy podcast.
It's so
Let's
dumb,
go.
obviously. It's dumb. No, so it's so the Matrix is like you can either stay in the Matrix and be somewhat oblivious to the fact that you're living in a simulation, or you can take the red pill and you come out of it back to real life and realize that the world is falling apart and it's all a trap and blah blah blah. So that
pull
term,
yourself up by your bootstraps. Damn.
yeah,
I get it.
like
I get
take
it.
the red pill has become a term of like wake up, like don't be a sheep.
Yeah.
Don't be one of them Joe
A
Biden
real Joe
sheep.
Rogan thing, I bet. Feels like a Joe Rogan thing.
I could see it being a Joe Rogan
It's-
thing.
it's-
I've never heard him talk about it, but I could. Yeah,
It's more a Alex Jones thing.
Yes.
That he has been tied to Joe Rogan.
Right.
For-
Definitely an Alex Jones thing.
Right.
Alex Jones.
they're
just,
turning the frogs gay.
yeah. Alex
Anyways.
Jones is my favorite conspiracy theorist. I
Oh,
don't
he's one
believe-
of the best of all time.
I don't believe anything he says,
He's
but
never
I
been wrong.
love him.
He's never been wrong.
I
not one
love
time.
the energy he brings to the table.
And I love just like listening to him around women too, and just being like, maybe.
I love his
Yeah.
voice. His voice.
Yeah,
That
he's on the opening to one of my favorite albums of all time. Like he's on music albums. His voice is so.
I love it, dude. What
He's great.
Kanye West about?
No, it's a Sturgill Simpson album, Sound
cool.
and Fury. He's like
Yeah.
playing on a radio channel in the
Yeah.
beginning, and like they're switching the channel back and forth.
So
You know who
good.
I'm-
Let's listen to that on the way in.
You know who I miss? I miss Kanye West before like the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean,
You ever see Kanye in some interviews? Like,
Every time I think of Kanye, I think of Joe Bridges' joke about Kanye, where he's like, Joe says he's like, I'm a very bad Jew because I love Kanye West, and then he goes, I've never heard his music. I just think he's a neat guy.
that's a good joke.
he's so neat.
Dude,
That's so funny.
I like. Have you seen that clip of Kanye West? He's like, I don't even know what he was doing. He's like, he's just standing there with this other person who's talking, and the guy like takes a breath, and Kanye West just looks in the camera and says, "Bush doesn't like black people."
That was a
No.
Katrina fundraiser.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Yeah,
love
and
it.
that's
man.
Mike Myers that he's standing next to. And he's
Is that
like,
who's
"Oh,
with? Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's Cat in the Hat, dude. That's live action Cat in the Hat standing there.
Cat in the Hat is your Mike Myers reference, not
That's Mike Myers.
not Shrek or what is the fucking best movie of all time?
It's not the best.
It's
movie,
not, but
I'm
it's
gonna let you struggle.
it's
to
a
find
good
it.
movie. You
I
know what I'm
don't
talking
like it.
about.
Do
You don't like that
you know
movie?
what he's talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm trying to find my favorite.
Has the
Mike Myers.
best ad placement I've ever seen in a movie.
I don't like it. I don't like a lot of that genre of shit. I don't.
That's like the one I like.
I don't like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I don't care for Ferris
get it.
Bueller's Day
I don't
Off.
think I've ever seen it.
I don't get
It's
it.
it's
You know.
hey, this kid's a dick and he steals his dad's car and he goes to Chicago or whatever, and I think it's Chicago he goes to. I don't remember.
I don't really like Weekend at Bernie's.
Not a big fan.
I feel like I've been watching it for the last 4 years.
Dude, what's the name of that goddamn movie?
3.5.
What is the name of that movie?
Got him.
That was a good one. Took me a second, but that
Got
was a good one.
So stupid.
yeah.
The one now I can't even think of it. I know what you're talking about with the long hair, and the
Yeah.
hats, and Dana Carvey's in it.
Yeah.
and the fucking not What's Eating Gilbert Grape, but the other one. Jesus Christ,
Dude,
It's
I'm
not
so
Doubtfire, is it?
angry.
no.
That's
yeah.
wrong.
R.I.P. to Robin Williams,
That's
though. Am
wrong
I right?
actor.
What happened?
I'm off.
He was
What? Did something happen to Robin Williams?
a little bit. I didn't really care for Austin Powers anyway. Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Thank
Wayne's
you.
World.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I did not
dude.
know that.
I could not.
Yeah. Not a huge. I don't know that I just missed that era of movies. I think it never really found its way to me as a
I
kid.
get that. I get that.
There's no nostalgia there. I think people who like those movies like them because they're nostalgic, not because they're.
That's how I
good.
feel about Step Brothers.
Love it.
Have you? When was the last time you watched Step Brothers?
2 years maybe.
Okay. Well, watch Step Brothers with somebody who's never seen it, and just see their reaction
I
to
would
it
love to.
because doesn't hang, man.
Doesn't
I think
Does
you're
it
wrong.
stand up?
I
Doesn't
think you're
hang?
wrong.
It stands up for us because I watched it when I was like 11,
I
like
don't know,
way
dude.
too young, you
It's
know,
so
or
good.
I don't know how old that movie is.
I will say, and I think this about a lot of movies. When I think of Step Brothers, I think of like a cumulative 15 minutes of the like the references that stick out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that means there's probably 45 minutes in there that's kind of slow or
Yeah.
kind of dead.
Like the job interview section,
Yep.
the whole fight where he sticks his balls on his
Pam,
drums.
like comb, there's a bee.
Yeah.
When they're interviewing and she says Pam.
With Seth Rogen's interviewing him and he farts
Yeah.
and they just like stare at each other.
Now the tuxedos seem kind of fucked up.
That's such a funny.
That's a good one. So comedy movies, Zach, when you were growing up, were you a big comedy movie guy also?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, have you guys seen Airheads since we got on Wayne's
Airheads,
World?
Airheads,
No.
Airheads.
It's one
Is
of-
that No, that's Coneheads.
That's Coneheads.
It's Coneheads. That's how I looked when I was a baby. Interestingly enough,
Like
There's
a
no
Conehead?
that up. There's
Like
no
Conehead or
picture-
Airheads?
There's like Conehead.
Oh.
There's no.
We're gonna
pictures.
link it in the episode.
Yeah, there's no pictures of me as a newborn because for like the first week my head was so coned.
Really?
My mom was like, "Don't take a fucking picture of this kid."
How did that?
Is this the
happen?
movie?
No. no, that's just gay bacon. That's just gay bacon. Y'all are gonna be really sad.
Got him.
This is
God. Hell.
Those of you who are just on Spotify.
yeah, the Spotify crowd here.
Jesus Christ, because I'm going to link that image in the video.
Oh,
I'm
got
going
him.
to hand edit that portion.
God.
I don't know why that caught me so off guard. Zach asked, have you seen the movie Airheads? Michael's frantically Googling on his phone. He says, is this the movie? And I look over, and it's the fucking candy Airheads. And then Zach said, that's gay bacon.
Clip it.
I don't know how.
I have seen this movie. It has been so long since I've seen this movie.
Jesus,
I know nothing
that caught
with this.
me off guard.
Yeah, Airheads is Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, and Steve Buscemi. If you don't know what it is.
Really?
Yeah, it's 94. Not rated well in Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think I know what we're talking about now, but I've never seen. I have not ever seen it.
It's one of those like if you.
Is this the one where they like rob? Are they like breaking?
Yes, it's exactly that.
Yes,
Yep.
dude, I love this movie.
If I look at your phone and it's still that fucking candy, and you're like, "Is this the one?
No, it's. I'm actually looking at it now.
Is this the one with the orange, the blue raspberry, and the green apple?"
No, this is such a good
Yeah,
movie.
it's not. Like,
This movie holds up.
Yeah, it's not like anti Wayne's World, but it's like Wayne's World adjacent, where they were like
Gotcha.
funny, being like rock and roll kids.
Yeah.
and that's why I brought it up in my head. But
I think
Dude,
I've seen clips of it.
I was so young when I saw it. Like it didn't register with me like the level of fame these three leads are.
Pretty crazy,
You
but
know?
probably not at that time, right?
no,
I mean,
this is
94.
like-
No, yeah.
Yeah.
This
So-
is like what got him to be like the Happy Madison production company.
Yeah.
like,
Gotcha.
that's the money he made off of that. I'm.
Do you know what this movie is?
I mean,
At
I've
all.
never seen it.
So
I've never
these
seen it.
three, they're like in a band. It's been a while, so they like they cannot get their demo like listened to. Nobody will listen to their demo, so they like break into a radio station.
It's a Marshall Mathers biopic.
Pretty much, they break into a radio station with like guns and stuff, and they like hold them all hostage. And like, what is it? Whenever like the hostages start to like their captors.
They do it with like water guns and shit.
Yeah.
They're, like it's
That's
it's
fun.
Like
I thought when he said Airheads, my brain thought Air Bud, and I thought we were talking about the dog movies.
yeah, it's
Remember those?
just
I
actually
do,
where
yeah.
dogs suck your dick the whole movie.
Airhead.
A little bit of
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Love that peanut butter from Popeyes.
Don't fucking say that.
So sorry. Anyway, thought I was riffing.
No, that's just gross. Comedy movies, Zach.
Gotta love 'em.
dude.
So you say you're 31, right? So
Yeah.
that would mean So that that's. I would assume that's like
Yeah.
old school. The Happy Madison movies, obviously.
Yeah.
Step Brothers, like that early 2000s genre right there. Tropic Thunder.
Blades of Glory.
I
Dude,
had-
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder is a
Gosh.
good one.
Robert Downey
Blades of
Jr. in
Glory.
blackface. How could you not love it? Iron Man does blackface. It's cool.
Yeah.
How does he still keep making movies?
It is fascinating, isn't
That
it?
is
Yeah,
wild.
why?
He seems to get a pass. He's the last one for
He,
sure.
he doesn't have fuck you money. He has fuck you, I'm doing blackface money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before that though.
He's
That was
the
before
last
Iron Man.
one. He also was in federal prison for like
Drugs.
drugs for a long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for a long time, for like a couple years.
Well,
He got his life together.
that feels like a long time
I mean,
when you're in prison.
Federal prison, I think.
He also probably
30
had-
days is a long time.
Probably also had money, so it probably wasn't like a tough one, you know?
Yeah, his dad was very
He's
rich,
in
right?
there.
He also was a very successful actor before he went to prison. So,
Ah, that's true.
yeah.
Kind of.
Did he do blackface before going to prison? I don't know the
I think it was after.
chronological.
I wouldn't,
That's pretty crazy too. To be like, I'm out. You know what I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
do?
Yeah.
I'll look it up. I'm
Blackface.
curious.
oh my god,
This.
Yeah.
What do I do with all this newfound freedom?
man.
Blackface.
Speaking. I heard,
That is crazy.
I heard a Joey Diaz
That's
joke
so
that I
wild.
shouldn't be saying, but I've been saying all week.
I love Joey.
Yeah, his joke. He's like, man, I just got out of prison. You think black people are allowed in a theater?
Oh yeah. I've
he
heard
was
that.
he was sentenced to 99 to 3 years in prison, served 15 months.
Oh, easy fucking
That's
peasy.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk in the park.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's kind of he's an awful pretty boy to be in prison though. You know.
Tropic Thunder was 2008, so he was
Yeah. Oh, it was way later. Yeah.
Way later. Yeah.
That is crazy to be like, thank God I avoided any more time in federal prison. I'm gonna celebrate by doing blackface. To be fair, that movie is about the hypocrisy of a white actor doing blackface. Like, it's very
like it
meta.
wasn't like it
the
wasn't,
joke is that he's an insane person doing blackface.
Yeah, like not that there's a right way to do blackface, but
well, we'll see. Halloween's approaching.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it.
God.
There actually is. If I ever get any success, I'm fucked, because there is a picture of me as a kid where I was
God,
I was supposed to be death, like with the cloak and stuff, but I hated that face paint shit, so it didn't get very close around my eyes, so there's clear circles around my eyes and my mouth, and it's just black face paint. There's a full blackface photo. I'll send it to you later. I'll put it in the episode.
Have you guys seen that trend on like TikToks and stuff where like those people, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know yet, but I've seen it.
No.
It's on TikTok. I've seen it.
It's the ones
You
where
said,
like
have you seen TikTok? And Zach's like, yep.
Yeah, I've seen it all. It's like I'm on it every second. No. Have you seen those ones where those people like completely paint their like face and neck black, and like their partner is like in a dark room, like like on their phone or whatever, and then like you just see them like sneaking up on them, and all you see is them smiling, and like the person like looks at them and just like,
That's horrifying.
Yep.
Oh, it is the meanest thing I can imagine.
What about the blackout tattoos? You seen those where they like their whole arms are covered in solid black?
Yeah,
or
do you know why that is?
Well, no, I mean,
Because there was some racist stuff on their arms.
not always.
No, it's
not
like
always.
a trendy thing now. Too.
Yeah, there's like what's her name? Kat Von D has like 2 full black sleeves, like it's a thing, and I think maybe her neck too. Some
Well,
people do the neck.
They also do that and like use it like a chalkboard, and then they'll get like white tattoos on top of it too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
MGK recently
Actually.
got all of his sleeves covered up. He left like little cracks in it so you can see through, but he got blackout on both arms.
That's like more bold than just getting a tattoo.
God, the fucking pain that you would have to endure. Though.
Yeah, I have. Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Yeah,
I've always wanted some, but
I just have one, and like I see you have one right there, but I just have like the one, and the worst part of it was the shading of it. Like the outline's fine, but like shading it is like not fun.
I wouldn't imagine there's a whole lot of shading to be done on a swastika.
Yeah.
Well, you want it to be solid.
Yeah.
All right.
This guy.
You heard it here first.
But ching.
All right, this guy.
Hit it there.
It is a swastika, but it's a rainbow swastika, so it balances out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
The
So
original
it's
meaning.
the Native American one.
The original meaning of it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see that in your real estate comments.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
thank
to
you.
take it back to comedy movies,
There's ever an episode that's gonna get deleted after it goes live. Might be this one.
yeah. Well, that's what most.
He's just mad
most
because
of
I
them
got
do
him with Weekend at Bernie's.
when I'm on a podcast, I generally make sure that it's going to cancel me in about 10 years.
Yeah. This one
I can never be famous. Like I
Don't
can't-
worry.
Well, yeah, no, but like I could never be famous. Like I could never hold any sort of political anything, like because they go back and listen to this.
I would love to see you holding.
Just the other day, I was
Would
on
be the worst.
I had a Facebook memory pop up from college, and I had like a Tupac poster hung up right beside a rebel flag, and I was like posed in front of it, and I was like, I'm just gonna delete this off the internet right now before anything.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
There's the photo I want linked to the
Balance.
episode.
Listen, you were
Dude, that should be your tour photo. Like when you have your dates, that should
balance. It's all about balance, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Me at 18.
Yeah.
I think it should be that picture, and the caption should just be that speech from Revenge of the Sith, where he's like, "I have brought balance to my new empire." It's just him in front of Tupac and the rebel flag.
That is like a very funny contrast to each other.
That's
like,
living in the South, dude. That's
That
all that
really
is.
is.
It is.
That's living in the South.
And
I
like-
have a cousin who will wear like basketball shorts and like Red Wing boots, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing right now,
Dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing?"
It's summertime, man.
He's
I got-
exactly
I-
halfway between.
I got
Yeah.
my walking shoes on and my walking shorts
My
on.
shit kickers
Yeah.
and my game shorts. You know, you gotta fucking get out there.
Dude,
Yeah.
tear down the statues. Am I right?
Those
Go
are the
ahead.
type of guys who love Jelly Rolls music. That's who that is. If you wear shorts, the basketball shorts and cowboy boots,
Shorts and boots. Yeah.
the song "Save Me" will be played at your funeral.
Yeah.
and that'll be in the next 5 years.
And the problem with me is I've lived so close.
Dude, how many heroin overdose funerals has the song "Save Me" been played at?
Plenty. Plenty.
Tell me that.
Plenty.
If that's not the anthem
Dude.
for your cousin who overdosed,
And-
I don't know what.
Slight correction. Fentanyl is what I think you meant. So,
Well,
yeah.
Either one. I think they're both pretty hot in the streets right now. But we're at I'm down here for Bristol Rhythm and Roots. That's the real reason I'm down here. We were walking around, and I have an unusual thing in my head. My autism flex is that I just read people's T-shirts and remember it.
Yeah.
And there's been 4 people I've been like, hey babe, did you see that Jelly Roll merch? Did you see that Jelly Roll merch?
Pretty
That
cool.
shit looks sweet.
Pretty cool.
That shit looks sweet. How many days do you think they got left?
Also, I should say, I am one more major life obstacle away from being a Jelly Roll fan. Also, I'm that close. If Haley ever smartens up and breaks up with me, I will be a roadie for Jelly Roll. I will follow him around the country.
I could see it.
Until I die.
To bring it back to TikTok,
Yeah.
don't follow him if you don't want to like him.
Yeah. I follow his wife.
You follow his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, then you love their dog first.
Yeah.
But
like
yeah.
the dog.
Yeah, I'm not a Jelly Roll guy. I don't get it. I know he talked about drugs to Congress. I was like, I get it. I respect this dude.
Yeah,
I
it was
did
pretty
like
cool,
that. I actually like that.
That was a
lot.
good speech he gave. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's great. His music is just kind of corny as hell, honestly.
Yeah. It is.
So what's up with all the face tattoos in country music right now? You guys noticing that?
I don't know. I was writing a joke about at Bristol Rhythm and Roots about how it's weird how all these country singers are getting sober because a country concert's the least sober place on earth.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Rhythm and Roots is a good place to realize that. Also, because everybody's
I've never been to Rhythm and Roots, but am I missing a lot? You think, or
I would go.
How much do you like music?
I mean,
It's not your genre.
Enough.
Look at him.
Like a normal.
Look at him.
You like enough, a normal amount.
I
have
Look at the fact that
I have 3 streaming services on my phone for music right now.
I have 2.
You have 2?
Michael woke up today.
I don't use Spotify for music, but I do have Spotify.
Okay.
Michael woke up today and decided to put the hood on under the headphones.
Under the headphones? Yeah.
You think he likes country music?
I mean,
would it look better to have the hood on over the headphones?
Well, I'm just that's not a country that's I don't imagine you could tell me about your favorite Waylon album right now. I don't.
My favorite Who album?
Who?
Exactly.
I didn't hear what you
That's
said.
way better.
That
That looks
it's
so
not.
much better.
No, it doesn't.
He looked like an Eskimo, dude.
Yeah.
It's still kind of
Sorry,
it's
person
feels
of color.
wrong.
still kind of giving Eskimo.
It feels wrong.
It does feel wrong. It feels wrong for me.
It does feel wrong. I can hear y'all better.
It kind of reminds me of one of those Super Mario characters.
It's more. It actually works better, but I'm gonna do it the other way.
I look like I wish I was wearing. I'm wearing a green. I have a yellow hoodie. I wish I was wearing it, and it would look like one of the turtles from Mario.
Yeah, it does. It's got a Koopa Troopa kind of
Koopa
vibe.
Troopa. Yeah.
Mario Kart Wii, huh? Let's get on that.
Why Mario Kart Wii? Why not Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Mario Kart in
Switch.
general.
What's up? I love it.
Michael and I had a realization about maybe 6-8 months ago that really all we need to do is just abandon our responsibilities and play Mario Kart all the time.
I'd do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I got reintroduced. My girlfriend came home from her parents' house, and she was like, look, I found my old DS. And I didn't really talk to her much for about a month. I just played Mario Kart all the time. She had to take it back. I literally was like taking it back. I was playing it on the toilet at work. I was taking it to the bathroom.
Been there.
I just wanted to...
Yeah, when I first got the Switch,
you were told
like
it,
that.
actually.
I was like that.
Just the sentiment that you said that with... Been there. That really hit you deep.
Done that. No, dude, I have Mario Kart 8 upstairs. We'll fuck it up right now.
Yeah.
All right, that was our episode. We're going to play Mario. No.
Nice knowing you.
I like the fact that he actually had despair in his voice because I was like, yeah, man, I took it in. I got to take my Switch in the toilet with me all the time.
Yep.
It's normal life. And he's like, yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, he was regretful.
My vice is Pokemon games. Dude, I can't. If I start playing them, I'm like, I can't fucking.
I
never got into
this.
them.
Except
Except Go. I played Go, and that was big. But, I mean, that was just trendy.
I walked around ETSU's campus last
I did
night.
too.
Not
last night.
Yeah, I walked around ETSU's campus last night. I was like, I used to walk around here all the time playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
There was 4 towers at the fountain in front of the library. It was dope. Yeah.
Here's a really sad thing. I just deleted Pokemon Go off my phone about a month ago.
I probably honestly still have it on my
still
phone.
got Flappy Bird on there?
No,
dude. Flappy Bird.
Dude.
Do you guys remember when they took that off the App Store and people were selling their phones with Flappy Bird on it for $1,000?
Sure do, because I was in this god-awful algebra class in high school. I was a junior, maybe, and this dude was a real prick. He was like a living embodiment of Mr. Garrison from fucking
South Park?
South Park, yeah. Okay, kids. He was fucking
The
terrible.
teacher or this guy?
The teacher.
Oh, okay.
The teacher was the worst, and that was the Flappy Bird moment there. And we made there was like a generator online where you could like insert custom images and make a version of we made Flappy Everhart because he was Mr. Everhart, and like it was just his retarded face on the bird, and every time you'd hit the space bar to jump, it'd go okay.
That's really
we
funny.
played Flappy Everhart all year.
See,
He caught us. We got in big trouble.
That's the level of technology you guys had.
Yeah.
One time I played a good prank on a teacher with that, and we were all going to the library to get on the computers because we didn't have like our own computers back in ye old days.
Yeah. The Stone Ages.
And we all get there, and he's like, "You gotta go to this website, and we're gonna like look it over and talk about like the design on it and everything else." And somehow I got on the code of it, and it was Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and we all thought the teacher was a little fruity.
Sure.
And so I got on there and switched the code and made mine say Jackson's Hole.
That's funny.
Early on, and dude, it fried his brain.
I bet it crushed though.
Dude, everybody.
God, remember crushing in high school?
Crushing at school was
Saying
so
something
good.
at the lunch table and it crushes. Oh,
Dude,
my God.
You go to the principal. Went to the principal's office for telling a dude, a teacher, I was gonna wing the standardized test like a chicken. Wing it like a chicken, baby.
And they sent you to the office?
That's a dumb reason to get in trouble.
It's a dumb teacher.
They were like, "Well, if you don't pass this, you don't get to, you don't get to go on.
You don't get ice cream next Saturday or whatever stupid reward they're trying to put.
I didn't get to go to fucking Eastern Montgomery High School.
Yeah.
Darn.
Dude, I subbed for a while, like during COVID after college, and it was crazy to be back in the system and see like I was on the kids' side the whole time. Like I taught this like
I think
honors.
I still would be.
Oh yeah, I taught this honors algebra, honors statistics, some crazy ass math class that 18-year-olds should not be in.
Yeah.
It was like a college level class, and they were crying during the exam. I was there on an exam day, and I was like, just sit down, do your exam, whatever. They were all crying, and this girl ran out in the hall, and I like went out there, and I was like, what's going on? And she was like bawling, and she was like, it's just so hard. It just, there's so much pressure it's going to be. And I probably shouldn't, but I was like, this, just so you know, nobody cares. This doesn't mean anything. Like, never once is a college going to be like, we saw where you got a C on that exam in high school. Nobody gives a shit. Like, just fucking, you're here. You're in this class. That's all. I mean, obviously you're here for a reason.
Yeah.
I think I also kind of blew her mind because I was like, I don't know why. I was on like a
You could
personal journey at the time.
I just took a hit of ketamine, then I went and taught these.
Basically, dude. Because I sat her down and I was like, you're on a giant ball of rock spinning at thousands of miles an hour around
You
the
were
sun.
going through some shit.
Yeah, I would literally told her that, and I was like, none of this matters. And she was like, what the fuck are
Did
you
you
talking about?
did you grab her by the shoulders and tell her God wasn't real while you were at it? Like, what'd you do?
Probably.
Yeah.
Try to get through to her somehow.
So now you want to speak consciousness?
Yeah, I think
Let's
that's
talk about
I think
that
that's
for
what
a
we're doing.
minute.
Yeah.
Shoot.
What a good episode of the simulation this has been.
Yeah. So before we wrap it up, two things. We always end with the first time guest. What's some if you had a newer comedian come and ask you for like advice, right? What would be that advice that you would give that comedian?
Usually, if I have a newer comedian come and ask me for advice, the first thing I tell them is like, ease up on the drug humor, calm down.
That's a very good.
Make.
Because that's what a lot of young comics think is like
Edge humor, drug humor, like
sex humor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like play pop music.
Yeah.
Make some silly shit 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Write those ideas down that you have about like taking acid, taking ketamine, taking whatever you're doing, even weed jokes.
Yeah.
Take them. You don't know who's in your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Make your stuff so that you're funny, but not making people uncomfortable, man. That's one thing that I see so much.
That's the first time we've got that advice, and I love that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I like that reference, pop music. Like, make it pop music. Like,
Yeah. And I don't know that the tough part is about this advice segment is none of it's going to age well, and it's not going to apply to everybody. But I would imagine in an area like the area where you do comedy, you get a lot of young kids from the colleges or whatever that are like, I'll just go up and be like, I'm such a pothead, laugh at me. And that just ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Even if I used to do this joke where I was like talking about being in an open relationship and my girlfriend would like go sleep with black dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could tell because she would give me anal after that. And like that's funny. It's really funny.
That's pretty funny.
But like,
it's a good joke. That's a good like. I didn't expect.
I'm
to go
already
there.
thinking of tags.
yeah.
Anyways,
But like, I would say that, and even just that little bit of like anal versus actual sex would be like you could see visually people go like.
Well, when
You
you're
would
new, you don't have the
confidence to do that.
the confidence, or I think it's more charisma. You don't the riz, as the kids say.
The riz.
You don't have the riz.
That is a valid
just
word
yet.
in Scrabble, in case you guys are curious. So
The riz. You don't quite know the art form enough to pull off something so outlandish. Yeah.
Exactly.
I see it all the time.
that is just so you know, riz is a valid word in Scrabble. Anyway, so where can they find you? Do you have any shows coming up?
I do have some shows coming up, and you can find all that information at The Mullet Influencer on Instagram. Is the best way to find all that. And if you want to see me be silly, like we said, get on that TikTok, baby.
Get on the talk.
On the TikTok at The Mullet Influencer.
You also do some food reviews on there occasionally, which I enjoy.
I need to do more of that because
I've been thinking about doing some myself.
You want to come over and review my wife's cooking? Ha!
Oh,
that was the hacky
That
joke.
feels like an
Always.
innuendo, and I don't
That was
like
the
that.
hack. That was like
I feel like he just invited me.
that was the old man joke.
That
like,
feels kind of get outish. I don't like that. Anyways,
movie. I was kind of like doing like a boomer humor joke.
Boomer humor. Oh, that's good. That's good.
shout out to Neville.
Hey, when Generation Z gets old, will we call them Zoomers?
Aren't we already?
I hope
God,
so.
that's not funny.
Probably.
God, that's not
But
funny.
you tried it, and that's
You
what
tried.
matters.
Fuck.
It's
You
the
tried.
it's
Listen.
the thought that counts.
Listen.
That's what I always try
What
to
I
tell
like
my
about
girl.
my house is we bomb.
Yep.
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 That's why we're here.
And
We do.
We're actually changing the name. Flip that sign around. It says Bomb City on the back of it. That's
talking bombs.
I don't think
bombs.
we need to order a flag that says Bomb City on it. I think we get on some list doing that.
You don't need to. I work for a defense contractor. I'll pull a poster off my wall and send it to you.
bingo.
I love it. That's something I wish we would have got into, but next time. Yeah. So you can find me, Michael Rose Comedy, on Instagram and Threads, moving to JC on Instagram. And Nathaniel is NLB_423.
That's true. And also, just a quick reminder for his moving to JC Instagram, if you all could go on there and support him. No, truly, I think anyone listening who wants to support Michael in his real estate, I think do that, and be sure and leave him some comments and ask him questions. Ask him serious real estate questions only.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Only things that apply to real estate. Don't ask him anything about his.
Don't tell Tri-Cities. Don't tell Tri-Cities.
Don't tell Dry Cities. On Instagram, you can follow us there. This episode will be out this week, right?
Yeah.
This week. So
Yes.
that means you got one more week until September 28th. And if you don't have a ticket, they might already fucking be gone. So September 28th, 2 shows, 7 and 9 p.m. Don't tell Tri Cities. Talking Bits Pod on Instagram.
We love you.
That's it. We love you. Thanks,
See
Zach.
y'all soon.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.